Hello, everybody. It is Valentine's Day, February 14th or the 15th if you are on the other side of the world. This is your daily fix with us, NFA OFC. Not financial advice, of frickin' course. At the risk of being repetitive, we are going to go over the money flow cycle, which just gives us a heads up on how the money is moving in the market. So, market cap dominance, Bitcoin and ETH. We're going to catch up. Hey, we're going to catch up on Cosmos, which is Atom, I think, Kasuma, Phantom, and Casper, because we've been following those for a while. And then we're going to go into some new coins, 1inch. I don't know if you say AAVE or AAVE, and then OXO or 0x0. And on the list, Pope wrote to me LFG. So LFG, Pope, get in here, please. Tell us how that hunt went today, my friend.
I wasn't going to say LFG's Italian. That's more like, let's fucking go. It was a good hunt. It was neat to go over the last 2 days, look for entries on the daily for the slows. Lots of green candles today, which was nice, but we're already seeing retracements. There was a lot of discussion about some retracements today, but we did find a lot of good entries. And actually, some of our entries we call in the show have already hit. And I'm already in profits from after the show from finding a couple. So it always makes me happy when that kind of thing happens. But we always want to talk about the money flow cycle. It's what makes all this possible with our perspective and how we look at it. What that always is when the money's coming in. And we drew this just yesterday saying, hey, we have a bullish wedge. We know we need to break out of it, retest this weekly. We're on the 4-hour here, weekly compression. And where did we stop the weekly resistance? Well, what an influx of money today. It was nice to see that happen as we were hunting too. You would see candles go, but we know there's going to be retracements. And we've already started to see them. This is awesome. We want more of this. Most likely by the weekend, I'm going to trash those drawings because we nailed it. Most likely by the weekend, because things tend to slow down, typically, we might start to see this curl. If we don't start to see that curl and this just stays open, our micro bull tool firing, we know that's movement, typically in price action for a pair, but since it's the market cap, it's volume of dollars in. We're just going to hold and ride out the little ebbs and flows. Healthy, natural retracements. That's what we want to see in a market. This would be great to keep doing it. On the 4, I'm not going to surge back. We've been hovering a good chunk of the day. That whole episode, hunt show today, we were pretty much at 1.88 for the full 2.5 hours. And Dom was virtually just hovering at the 0.54. This is our notes from the other day, what we wanted to see. We're going to see these retracements. Here we are with that one, and we want to see these curls. We haven't seen them yet. Don't think we are. We're just going to keep getting these little quick in and outs with the dominance and the money flow. If you were anywhere online today or in the news, you would have seen Bitcoin and Gary Gensler and all the other garbage that's been going on. But this is what we talked about yesterday. Consolidation in the middle, or we're going to take off and contest the top, or we're going to take off, contest the bottom. We can rocket through at any time, either direction. Here's our weekly trend. And if we do, typically we consolidate above and below. We've had lots of up. Curious literally to see how this is, because this could still be, well, this is still at play. Absolutely. We have straight up little to no pullback, but we also know a hell of a lot of ETFs money is coming in. That's in the news everywhere. There is probably, if you looked at the fear and greed index on CoinMarketCap or TradingView, greed's probably high right now. I mean, on the daily, our indicators firing, which we know causes retracement, which we know settling on a weekly is a little more difficult. So will money come out of the market? Probably maybe into in here. We don't know. So it's crystal ball. Bitcoin, you never really know. It can rocket through. I reckon we're going to consolidate along the low 50,000s.
Would you mess with your trend lines at the moment, or are you just going to leave them for a while?
I'll leave them for a while because it's playing out. It's still playing out as we've done it. These are consolidation areas. We're trying to get into this next one. Typically, they rocket through these. I really don't see us in the next little while contesting too much below this zone. I really don't. And the reason is just because of the hype. And if you were in our Discord, we talked about, now I'm having a brain fart with the pattern that just got, somebody help me, confirmation that we're at all of it. I can't remember now. Sorry.
I can't even help you. I'm so sorry.
No worries. It was in our Discord yesterday before we ended up taking some trades. Too much on the brain, too much analysis all day, a little fried. Here we are. We've called Ethereum pretty much since we started the show live and had some great entries, and off we've gone. The last little bit we said we'd consolidate, possibly have resistance at the $2,717 is where I thought we were going to stop due to the parallel channel. We're off by, I don't know, $73. And not bad. I'll do better. We'll get better. And we can see where we thought and how we wanted our micro bull to run. And this one kept curling. Remember that? Annoying. But it's still going the direction we want. It's still seeing what we want. A little retracement is always good. I mean, we got up to here, pulled back. Critical greed, absolutely. We've even broke out of the upwards trend. We've had the touches, pull back a little bit. We'll see how that money flow goes, but really happy with how we've been looking at ETH. And as we know, when this happens, unless we get a massive flow of total market cap coming in, it would stand to make sense. We're going to consolidate or pull back into this range. So those to me are always the most important to always look at, even while I'm getting into trades and looking to buy in stuff, even on the hunt today. I am constantly looking at these two because these right now are a lot faster than they typically have been. And if you're not in for the long hold and riding out all these ebbs and flows, like, 6, 8, 2 years, like 6 months, 8 months, year, 2 years, that kind of investing, if you ride the ebbs and flows, you're going to stack your percentages compounding. They're going to go nuts. And we've started to show some of you and some of our trading styles is you can get some of these percentages in and out within sometimes a few hours. Last night, like I said, we did Vulcan Forge. It's great. A little over 7%, 4 hours. I'll take that.
Yeah, we were on FaceTime until like 3:30 in the morning, just going back and forth. And you did keep going. You were watching it and then kept going back to the market cap because you wanted to see kind of how it was influencing really what we were seeing. So,
and that is by doing that, I'm maximizing our percentages, but that's on a faster trading style. These here are what we've been talking about on the show for the last little bit. And if you're riding out these longer trades, you're doing great. I mean, come on, right? we're on par, obviously, to get up there. And right now, this is at 23, even with 2 retracements. Phantom's just been excellent. We were in the middle here in that weird rectangle with this one. 12. And that's why diversification helps. You split your bag up a bit, never going with your whole bag either. That's just poor strategy. Just in case you have to dollar cost entry. We're sitting at 6 on Atom, and we only did Atom a few days ago. We didn't catch the belly of the bear. Where we did here, we got a later entry on a limit entry, but we got it. Casper. I mean, this coin has pretty much done everything we've said it was going to do since January 17th. And I mean, these lines and the prices are coming right down to the weekly. And I think we actually might see the same percentage now work its way up for Casper. We've got that tight belly. I don't want to take the lines off because we've literally called this from here, right? And if you waited to here, which nobody did, 31%, I would have said, like we said in the show, I would have got out of the consolidation because it had the possibility to start going back up there. But it didn't. We gave it 2 possibilities. Looks like we might hit the middle. I'll take it. And if you took out a consolidation, say not even the best, and it's lower there, you still made 27% on that call. Let's ride it the other way. I mean, it's a small value token, and when these things run, they can run. Ooh, sorry. From entry costs right now to all-time highs, we're doing all right. This could be a great long hold. And if we have ebbs and flows like this where we can short it and long it, I'll take those kind of percentages all day long.
I'm glad we watched this one just so we could see, because usually we just watch things as they're trying to go up, and we were actually able to watch this capitulation and see how it's going to turn. I'm excited to see what happens to it by the end of next week, actually.
Right. Well, it's awesome because we can see our consolidation in here, and we know that builds breakups. We now finally have that belly of the bear, of the micro bear started. We probably will have another little bit of retracement in here, which I'll probably mark up as an entry on a long trade. If you weren't shorting it, it would make sense. We might get a little pullback. The wick made it. This gets another up, somewhere in here. I mean, even right now would probably be a great deal for the long haul, which we're going to hold this for. And I'll take those percentages. And I feel good that it's going back up because, Amir is one of our greats in the Discord. His TA is phenomenal. And he's a node for this. He never wished to go down, but that's also a healthy market. That's what we need. We called 1 inch as well a while ago. And I mean, there's our break. We're going up. You can see how it didn't make it past this weekly support resistance that still is on the daily and comes right back out. We got the micro bull coming. We're having these healthy retracements. Right now, 1 inch, if you're not caring about a perfect entry, this is a great spot to be looking to get in. Cough, cough, not financial advice. Fuck course. Because even just to the weekly resistance on the top, you're at 7. So worst case scenario, if it starts to turn, whoops. We take it just back up to below that weekly, which is still 3.49%, which we know is huge. And if you got in there, we've been laughing. And we know we're probably going to get up and retest these areas. So 1 inch, yeah, if you're not in, there's still lots of opportunity.
Were you saying this is like holding this for a longer time or shorter? I'm confused.
When the percentages hit and uh, how the indicators tell us what's happening. And is it fast trading like when we go in and out? No, none of these that we're going to be discussing on the show will ever be fast because they're out of date by the time we're talking about it or it happened. That's what the Discord is for. You know, you've seen examples of now how Supreme and I trade together, how we're calling market caps and things like that. There'll be a lot more of that coming. And this absolutely, all the stuff we're going to be discussing on here will predominantly be our slower trades, you know, and this looks like it could be totally a cup and handle, you know.
I was just going to say that. If you have a second, would you mind throwing that on the weekly for me just so I can take a look see? Careful.
Woo. On the weekly, you said.
Yeah, I just want to see kind of.
Ooh.
Yowza.
It's amazing how sometimes it just finds that point where, like this, I didn't do anything there different with my mouse. It just sometimes does that.
You got a loose mouse.
I see what you did there. Kind of makes sense to me again, where we got the confirmation breakout on the weekly candle. You know, this is weekly, so 4 days ago, we're still in it, but looks pretty darn good with the way everything's looking in the market. And that is a long time ago trend line. So even taking a localized, we're looking good. We're in the box that we were talking about. On the weekly, the cup and handle still looks like highly probable. 1 inch is going to be great. This is going to be a very good to us token throughout this bull run. I'm excited. What were the other ones here? Sorry. AGIX. AGIX right now is just walking. Just walking up. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, especially for an old token. This is what we want to see. So we can see healthy retracements. Don't FOMO. It's not all of a sudden just, I mean, sometimes, yes, it does. But it's just doing everything right now. And if you watch the market cap, you'll get a better entry if you want to get in and out over these little periods of time. If you're just going to hold it, just go. Even the weekly is saying we'll probably get into this range. 6.5%. And that's over a weekly, which we know will have tons of this in it. So we can jump in and out of that weekly quite nicely. Huh. So AGIX, very happy with that. It still's got lots of room to go. If you're looking for a nice trade, wait for a little bit of a pullback. It'll come. And you're off to the races, as I say a lot. All right. It's Algorand as well.
This one, I've been checking this one out a little bit too.
Another long-term token. Our localized high to our last low, you can clearly tell We've had lots of drawings on this. We've played it well. Look at our entry to where we are already today. And I still have a lot of faith in this token that we're going to be walking up and fighting these resistance lines and that we want to settle along here. I mean, what are we at already with this? 14% in 8 days. We're not abandoning Algorand yet, especially as a longer hold. Now, if it starts to really fight here in the next little bit, or it starts to, you want to take some profits because you want to move it to something different, nothing wrong with taking 14%. But yeah, we'll have a list. What I went through today was quite a few tokens. We went through our whole list in that stream for the hunt. And just because everything's green doesn't mean you've missed out. You know, the FOMO is probably the worst part of this whole thing. And because it's exciting to watch things take off. But when you have a bunch of different things to look at, not everything goes up at once. And things are at different parts of their cycles. And our tools and our strategies help us mitigate those cycles and where to get in and ride them, right? We follow the flow. We don't fight it. There's not a trade. We don't force it. So we got in today's stuff quite a few. And I just lost the screen. Give me a second. And I'll be posting these shortly after the show on our Discord. And I'll just run through them rather quickly. If somebody wants to rewind and pause, they can. Ator, Big Time, BTT, Cake, Hello, CELO, Chile's CHZ, Cox, COQ, CRV, Fear, Phantom, Injective Protocol, INJ, GMX, Rose, and TIA. All of those will be posted shortly, and I'd be looking at those on the 1 hour. On the daily entries, I'd be looking at Kava, Maker, MKR, Perp, PERP, Prisma, Tomy, and XRP is looking juicy on the dailies. And ones we're looking for retracement. They're good tokens. If you haven't got into them yet, wait for them to pull back. Another good longer term gains. Bytes, you're gonna have to use a DEX. Canto, Cere, CERE or Cere, I have no idea how to say it. Mana, talked about that quite a bit. The gaming, Shrap for shrapnel, Dynamite, Stacks. I mean, hopefully you bought Stacks and just held up what I told you to, because I mean, what more did I need to say back then? And then Theta. Theta's looking for a little bit of retracement as well. We had a long show earlier with 2.5 hours, so I am trying to keep it fairly short today, and it's also Valentine's Day. So part of the normal thing that we do, you know, as per always, is how we've been doing. Okay.
I'm pretty proud of that. We killed it last night. You've been killing it today. No chicken. I am not a sheep either.
Makes me happy. And we did. There's been some great calls. We're in some trades. You're going to see a bunch more now and me more lively, like the last few days have shown, because as I've been saying, a lot of the IRL stuff is done and it's time to get back to trading, and it's going to be exciting. I don't know when I'm going to do the hunts. There's no regular time to that, but these will always be Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. If you're in our Discord, you're going to get way more information than what we can cover here. Ladies and gentlemen, again, your daily fix. That's it for me. I talk too much. I'll let Kate take it away to say good night.
Oh, it's clearly a shorter show tonight, but he gave you a lot of things to look at. Go to the TA we've been talking about for the last, well, weeks, and see what you can find. Don't be a chicken. Don't be a sheep. And we'll see you tomorrow. We'll do it again.
Hell
See you later,
yeah.
everybody. Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. Later, later, later.